Hi everyone. In this tutorial, we'll walk through several workflows and scenarios for baking DAZ skin textures and transferring tattoos into CC. First, let's go over the basic import workflow. In DAZ, make sure to set the subdivision level of all characters and related objects, such as eyelashes and eyes, to level 2. Then back to CC and click the transformer in the toolbar. You will find Get DAZ A Pose for CC3 Plus and CC5 HD. After clicking it, you can see APOS DUF files for different Genesis characters in the folder. Select the Genesis 9 APOS and drag it onto the DAZ character to apply it. Once this is done, the character is ready for export. Go to File, Export, name the file, and save it as an FBX file. In the export options, uncheck Embed Textures and click Accept. This FBX file will contain the character mesh and textures. Next, export an additional OBJ file and name it. It can preserve and transfer the character's subdivision information. Then click Accept to export the OBJ file. After that, return to CC and click Transformer. We can choose to transfer the DAZ character into CC5 HD character. Then load the previously exported FBX file and choose Genesis 9 as the character type. You will see two import options, Basic and Advanced. The Read First link next to them will open the manual if you want to review the detailed workflow. Here, we can use Basic Import first. For DAZ High Poly Source, select the previously exported OBJ file to import the subdivision data. Next, you'll see the Bake Body Texture option. We'll keep the default settings for now, so the DAZ textures won't be baked into CC. Next, you can see all the accessories listed below. We'll keep the default setting as Cloth. Click OK to import and transfer the DAZ character into a CC5 character. Once completed, you can see that all objects have been successfully imported into CC. Then you can see that the subdivision level is set to 2, which means the DAZ subdivision data has been successfully transferred into CC. You can press Alt+2 to enable wireframe mode and check the polygon density differences. In the Material panel, you can see the cloth material have been successfully imported. Then you'll notice that the character doesn't look the same as it did in DAZ. This is because all the textures on the character are currently using the CC neutral character textures. This workflow is suitable for users who only need the DAZ character's shape, but not the original textures. As a result, you can freely apply different skin textures directly in Character Creator. Next, if Bake Body Texture is enabled during import, CC will read and bake the textures embedded in the FBX file. You can also choose the bake texture size. In this tutorial, we'll use 4K resolution. Once the settings are complete, click OK to import the character. As you can see, the DAZ FBX only contains a diffuse map, so CC will bake it into the base color map. The AO and roughness maps are automatically filled with CC default textures, and the textures of the character's other body parts will remain the same. Next, we will explain Advanced Import. As before, transfer to CC5 HD and load the FBX file. Then choose Advanced Import. And again select Import OBJ file. Enable Bake Body Texture, set the texture size, and then click OK to import. After the import is complete, you will notice that normal map and roughness map textures are now present. So why do these textures appear when using Advanced Import? First, go back to DAZ and open the Surfaces panel. Select the DAZ character, then click on the base color of any body part. After clicking Browse for the texture, DAZ will automatically open the folder path where the character's textures are stored. In this folder, you can find all texture maps used by the character. You can see that the character already includes a normal map, and the texture name contains norm. During advanced import, CC automatically searches the external texture folder and retrieves textures with matching names, then transfers them into CC. Other textures will also be transferred automatically as long as their names correspond. For more details, please refer to the official documentation. Next, you can see that the character also has specular map. Because the texture name matches, it will be automatically imported and converted into a roughness map. As for AO, since there is no corresponding naming convention, the texture cannot be transferred automatically. Due to DAZ texture naming conventions, some characters may fail to transfer all textures into CC. At this point, we can use INI settings to make sure that all textures are properly transferred into CC. Back in CC, choose Transfer to CC5HD and select the FBX file. INI settings can be used in both basic and advanced modes, and here we'll use advanced as an example. Next, set the OBJ file as the DAZ high poly source, enable bake body texture, and choose the texture size you want. After that, you'll see the Generate Profile option. Once you click it, CC will automatically generate an INI file. Just give it a name, choose where to save it, and click Save. Now, open the INI file. You'll see that it contains all the character's body parts along with their corresponding texture channels. Since the DAZ FBX file itself only includes a base color, the diffuse channel is set to Use Embedded Texture, while the other texture channels need to be set manually. To do this, right-click on a texture and choose Rename, then copy the full texture name, including the file extension. Paste that name into the corresponding texture channel in the INI file. For example, copy the texture name for the normal map and paste it into the normal channel. You can use the same method for the specular map as well. Then repeat this process for each body part, such as the head, body, and legs. Once all the texture names are filled in, save the INI file and copy the character's external texture folder path. After everything is set up, paste the texture folder path into the texture folder field. CC will automatically retrieve all the textures from that directory. Once that's done, click OK to finish the import. You'll now see that all textures, including normal, roughness, and AO, are successfully transferred into CC using INI settings. By using this method, you can make sure that every texture is correctly applied to the appropriate body part. To quickly summarize, basic import only transfers the DAZ character's shape and mesh, and applies the CC neutral character textures. If bake body texture is enabled in basic import, only the base color map embedded in the FBX will be transferred, while the rest will use default textures. Advanced import can automatically retrieve textures based on matching names, but because DAZ texture naming isn't always consistent, some textures may not be transferred correctly. With INI settings, you can manually define each texture and ensure that everything is transferred completely into CC. Finally, you can further enhance the character by applying CC content. You can add HD eyes, eyelashes, and HD eyebrows with different brow styles, and combine them with various hair, clothing, and pants assets to create a character that looks more realistic and more refined. Finally, let's take a look at how to bring DAZ material textures, such as makeup, eye material, and tattoo, into CC using the SkinGen tool. In DAZ, character packs usually come with a variety of different materials that you can swap and use. For example, if we double-click a makeup preset, you'll see that the makeup is immediately applied to the character, and it's also directly baked into the base color map, which means it can be transferred to CC without any extra steps. You can try applying different makeup presets to see the results. The same applies to the eyes. When you double-click an eye material, it's applied to the character right away, and the eye's base color is updated accordingly. However, when you apply lip makeup, you'll notice that it doesn't seem to show up on the character at first. If you switch to eye ray and take another look, you'll see that the effect is actually there. This difference happens because lip makeup in DAZ is applied using a layered texture approach. If you look under the head materials, you'll see that lip makeup uses a combination of a makeup-based color and a mask. Different lipstick presets use different base color textures. So the question is how we bring these images into CC. To do that, go to the CC Content Manager, select Skin, then open the SkinGen Tool, and choose UV Transfer. Here, select the Genesis 9. You'll see several body regions, and we'll start by choosing Head and applying it to the character. Next, drag the lipstick base color into the corresponding slot, and then drag the mask into the opacity channel. Once you do that, the lip makeup will be applied correctly. You can also swap out different base color textures to find the color you like. The SkinGen tool also gives you some basic adjustment options. You can use scale to adjust the texture size, tweak the opacity, adjust the hue to change the color, and even increase the blur to soften the edges of the lip makeup. In DAZ, there are also many full-body materials, such as tattoos. These can also be applied using the SkinGen tool. Since these textures are usually PNG files with transparency, all you need to do is set the blend mode to multiply. Next, set material into the body and apply the Body SkinGen tool. After dragging in the base color texture, simply adjust the blend mode again. For the arms, the process is basically the same. However, to avoid a visible seam between the body and the arms, we also apply a Shoulder SkinGen tool. Here, we reuse the same body base color texture and adjust the blend mode accordingly. Finally, apply the texture to the legs, and you'll have a complete full-body tattoo successfully applied to the character. Depending on the different situations, we can transfer textures into CC using Basic Import, Advanced Import, or INI settings. And we can also use the SkinGen tool to bring special DAZ materials into CC. Thanks for watching.